Hello, this is Miho from Canada. How are you guys doing? I hope things are going well for you, mental health, physical health. So today I'm going to talk about negative versus positive. Of course, you have the impression to be positive is better than negative. But like me, including me, I couldn't get out of the head around not being negative. When something happens, instantly I seek for something wrong or something not good, something go wrong, or it's just negative thoughts. And it's almost instantly you think about negative things, about whatever is happening in front of you. Then because you think negatively, so of course the life doesn't really runs the way you want. So being a positive side, of course, there are people who are so positive and healthy, wealthy, happy, joyful, all that. And I used to think they don't have anything negatives on their life, so that's why they are always positive, because they have nothing bad happen to them or nothing, everything is going well for them. But the truth is things happen equally to people. The difference is that people who are positive side, they know how to shift their thoughts to positive. They see in both ways, like there are two sides to everything, positive and negative, light and dark. And they see both ways, but they know to focus on the positive side. And probably at that point, they're doing it unconsciously because they've been practicing it to focus on a positive for so long. So this is something you can learn. It's the habit that you do. So for me, for years, I was creating or practicing this habit of negative thinking. Whatever it happens, I always look at the negative side first, and you don't even think, to focus on a positive on events. And you have this practice for many years, so you automatically do it. And everything turns negative because that's how you see now. That's your practice, you've been doing it. That's your habit. And the good news is, you could break that habit, but you really want to do it. It's like anything that, for instance, I go for walk first, maybe 10 minutes, and next day extend it to 15 minutes, and maybe the next week following I go 20 minutes. And 30 minutes, and somehow you start walking longer distance. So anything that you put the practice and time on it, you could shift your behaviors on certain things. And people think it would be nice to have 10 kilograms or 20 pounds less the next day you wake up. I would say so too. It would be nice, but usually it doesn't happen. So it does happen that you can lose the 20 pounds, but you take time. You need a time. You need to process it. You need to change your habit. So actually, I've done it. In 3 months, I focused on my self-care and cleaned up my eating habits and some workout, and I lost 10 kilograms, which is like 22 pounds, and it's done. It's possible. I actually did it, right? So it is possible that you could do it, but you need really to focus on this habit of eating. Like I had a really bad habit of eating everything I see. Because I run, I get so hungry and I eat whatever is there. And from that to losing, meaning that I needed to change my eating habit. And as I go through, I learned certain process, to think about the food as a nutrient to the body versus what your brain wants to eat. And there's ups and downs, but you will get to the end. So it's the process that as a humans we really learn and gain the knowledge, and that really makes you grow to the next stage or next level. And I think that's what we really designed for or really meant for. So it's like a travel as well. There's a way to go from A to B by airplane. So you will get to the destination B really fast and efficient, but you miss all in between. Versus when you go on a road trip, you see all the natures, the things that's happening on the road, and some parks and adventures and the food and all those sceneries. It just, you can absorb so much. And I think the humans need that to absorb a lot of things during the way. So you set yourself or the expectations that it will take a while to shift your habit, which you build for years and years. And if that is a negative ones that I did, it took me years to practice being negative, and I was really good at it. Without thinking, I was constantly thinking about negativity. Every time I take something, I turn it to negative. I was getting very expert in that area. And to get the shift, you really need to focus. You need to really put the conscious effort to see, oh, I'm doing this again. So you shift. So at first, you might feel like anything good and positive words, like, oh, I'm beautiful, and I'm great, I'm awesome. Those words really sits uncomfortably with you because it just, those positive words are not in your library. Probably you never used it for yourself. You've heard it, but it wasn't your library. So when you say it, it feels so uncomfortable and feel not true. But that's okay. That's very natural. And if you don't want to say it because people will hear you, you just say it in your mind or say it somewhere that no one is around. But the point is to hear that words, to get used to it. And you don't have to go out to the world and announce that you're awesome. You just tell those words to yourself, because the word has a power over you to feel that energy of happiness or the awesome or great versus you're shitty or you're stupid or you're dumb. You have a different feel from those negative words, right? So it's affecting your thought system too. So you practice using positive words to describe events that's happening to you. For instance, you have the flip-flop and it broke, and you go, oh shoot. Even the positive people will think the same way. The difference is that the positive people will shift very quickly, as if they haven't even thought that was a bad, like, oh shoot moment. They will say, oh, I'm so glad it happened here at home. Otherwise, like, I had no, flip-flop or no shoes to walk around, outside. So it's good that it happened today. Happened now before I went out, because I have another pair that I can take. But if you're really negative, again, see, my day is awful. Like, my day is done. Why this happened to me? I just bought this, or whatever the reason that you could think to put you down. That's what I was doing. So this is the habit too. It's anything like you could change this habit. And actually, this negative habit is very, very addictive. Once you have it, you want to do it more and more, because that's how you get, the satisfaction out of it. It's almost like how bad and how negative you could get. It's a competition. It's anything like, if you don't have it, you get really agitated or nervous or that sort of feel. So negativity is very addictive, so you often go back. You try so hard, but if something happens, you go back to where the negatives are, because that's where you feel comfortable, even though you don't like it, but that's you feel kind of ease, because that's where you've been practicing at. So make a shift. It really needs a little discipline to consciously choose to be positive thoughts or feelings. But once you know you're putting a shift to it, it's like walking, you will make a longer distance little by little, and then you'll be the point where you automatically think positive way. So it's a mind training too, that everybody can do it. It's your choice. And just the shifting part might take a little bit of time and a gear change. But once you get going, it's faster and it's much smoother ride. So when you are in between that resistance, it's a good sign that you're consciously aware of it, instead of being totally immersed in that vicious cycle of negativity. I was there, and it's very tough to see there is another world that is so much nicer, and be yourself. So you can always change your habits. So negativity is your habit of thinking. So take a shift, and you could really have this positive attitude about a lot of things. And actually, when you do take care of who you really are, or your state of being now, and you're helping the future you, because whatever the state now, it will go out to the universe, and they'll say, oh, that's what you like to have, and then bring it back to you. But anything like losing 10 pounds, it won't happen the next day. You have a good intention and thought, but you will not have the body with 10 pounds less, right? So it takes a time. It takes time. It's a time lag phenomenon. So when you say have a really bad state of mind and very depressed and negative and angry, that intention goes out and come back to you. It takes time. So a week from now, you have the event that irritates you or get angry at or something, because you were radiating that signal a week before. So it's very good things to do for yourself in the future, that you are in a good state now, because that will pay you the future you. And then when you're always in a good state, consciously remind yourself to be good state, and that's a good life, because you can deal a lot of things better with this harmonized and peaceful state, rather than being angry or anxious and worrisome and the guilty. Those feelings takes over you and it ruins the whole day, right? I've been there many times, so I'm speaking from experience. And so that it's important to really consciously look for your state being very stable and happy state. So breaking the habit, that's something that everybody can do. It just become your choice now. So it's a good shifting practice, and it's nothing magic about it. It's a constant reminder to yourself, and it's a good training, and you will get there. Like, you will lose weight when you do constantly, looking after what you eat or work out or understand the correct knowledge about your body. The same thing. So you really can make a shift, and it's everybody can do this. It's just the choice of yours. So hope that would help to shift your mindset to positive way, and your life gets brighter and much nicer place to be. So if you have any questions and to talk about in this area, I love to help, because I was shifted from very negative to positive, and I just wanted to share everything that I know. So thank you. See you soon.